Hi, it's Laura at Aquamarine18 Tarot and Books. Thanks for stopping by my channel today. Welcome or welcome back. I am very excited to share a deck with you, a walkthrough and some first impressions of a deck that just arrived to me in my collection this past week. It's not an unboxing because I've already looked through the deck and looked through the guidebook, but it is still a very new deck to me, so it is very much a first impressions. And the deck, you'll know from the title of my video here, is Tarot Souverain, which is Tarot Ecofeminist, Nonbinary, and the artist is Emmanuel, Fontaine. And this is a tarot of sovereignty, and the deck is a eco-feminist and non-binary tarot. And the deck is in French. So this is a deck that I backed on Ulule, which is a French Kickstarter like website. It's a crowdfunding site. And I first heard about this deck from Kathu Tarot's channel, where a kind of preview or an early look at a prototype of the deck was featured. And as soon as I saw it, I went and signed up for Ulule and I backed the deck. So very, very exciting. I'm going to link below to the campaign so you can see what Ulule is like if you're unfamiliar with it, which I was until I found this deck. I'll also link below a video with the creator talking about the deck and also a kind of interview chat with Kathu Tarot and Emmanuel as well, talking about the deck. They are having the videos and conversations in French. You can always use the auto caption, auto translate option to get a sense of it if you don't speak or understand French. So this is a really great deck and I'm very excited. It's lino cut, which is one of my favorite kind of art mediums, and so between it being a feminist deck, an ecologically conscious deck, deck celebrating gender diversity, and everything about the style, I'm so excited. So a little bit about the deck first. The deck, in terms of its kind of theme, in addition to being a deck with an eco-feminist politic, also has a kind of emphasis in it on food sovereignty. And the creator has a background in food and in cooking and in nutrition. And so there you'll see a lot of food and cooking related and growing and gardening related imagery throughout the deck. And the deck is definitely envisioned, the guidebook talks about this as a tool not only for kind of self-exploration or intuitive reading, but also for working to interrogate power relations, right? And strategize around dismantling them and making them more equitable. So I really, really like this project. You can see the back of the card here has suit symbols here and a letter. And this is also what the guidebook looks like. The guidebook is short, small. It's like a zine kind of little black book, I guess. It's stapled here. And I guess before I get into the deck, I will just talk a little bit about what is in the guidebook. So, as mentioned, the guidebook is in French. You can see here the table of contents include a note from the artivist, activist artist, a section on using the deck, and then a 1-card, 3-card, and 4-card readings, the cards in their suits, and then the symbolism of the cards card by card, starting with the major arcana and then the minor arcana. And you may be able to see there that the minor arcana are elements. So you get about 4 pages from the artist. Then there's some ideas of how to work with the deck, very much framed as kind of suggestions. A couple of spreads, past, present, future, 4-card spread, and then a description of the suits, which again are elements. So for each suit, you get a page just explaining what the overall symbolism of that suit includes. So le feu, the fire suit, or wands. This one is represented in terms of the kind of food theme by spices, and there's chili peppers and things like this, and then is also particularly features non-binary, gender fluid, agender folks in the imagery. The air suit, l'air, swords, includes knives as the kind of tool symbol, and then it includes women warriors from history. The water suit, l'eau, cups, is represented by cups of water, makes sense, as well as body parts, okay? And the explanation for that includes kind of relating to how the outer world affects the inner world, so that kind of emotional, embodied kind of aspect of the water suit. And la terre, the earth suit, or what would be pentacles, is represented by animal and vegetable, animal and plant, biodiversity. And the creator notes, that this is a kind of abundance that is not consumption focused. It's a kind of natural abundance that is not about resources in the sense of resources to use, right? So you get this kind of ecological theme coming through in the text. For the card by card descriptions, you get basically a paragraph's worth of keywords. So to give a sense, you can see here how much you get for each card. There are some astrological associations included, and these are fairly general keywords. It's not a detailed kind of explanation of the creator's specific art, okay? So it is a more general, but they're good. And certainly more general keywords, but through that kind of prism of an eco-feminist and gender diverse outlook. So I appreciate that. It is, again, quite short. So that's the overview of the guidebook. And I didn't really show. The box is a pretty basic two-piece box. The box is a little bit big for the deck. It came kind of padded in there so that it wouldn't, fall or like jostle around. I think that I'll wrap the deck in something and then keep it in here just so that it's well protected. But the box is sturdy. The cards are, again, there's the back. They're not quite rose petal. They're definitely matte in terms of the cardstock. They're very flexible, but they don't feel flimsy. Again, very matte, but they slide really well. They don't clump. They don't stick. They do have a bit of that kind of rose petal-y feel, but they're not sticky, which is awesome. So I'm gonna go through the cards. We're only at 9 minutes now. You might get to have a look at the cards. Again, is lino cut, which I think is really cool. And I'll just show you with a fan out here if I can. It is color coded. So you have white for the majors, red for fire, blue for water, purple for air, and yellow for earth, which I think is an interesting choice. I would usually think yellow would be air. So I really like this. Friends, I'm really excited. I'm really happy with this deck. So I'm not going to try to ramble too much, but I do want to share some thoughts. So a lot of the titles of the card have changed. They are, of course, again, all in French, but they're also not just French translations of the titles that folks who read English language decks that are Smith-Waite based would be familiar with. There are quite a few changes. So I did want to make sure that I talked about those as well. So for the Fool, we have Phoenix, Liberté, freedom. And I love this broken cage or opened cage here and just bursting forth, and you have the kind of cliff and the dog. Beautiful. Sorcière, sorcerer, sorceress, witch. Something that I wanted to mention before going any further, that, you know, folks who are unfamiliar, you know, in some places will see the letters in the different titles kind of running together. You can see this towards the end of Souverain there. I'm still really learning about this myself, but French, for folks who are unfamiliar, is a very much a gendered language, right? A gendered language. And so here what we see is the titles being presented in non-gendered ways, which sometimes means kind of combining or altering what would be kind of the masculine form of a title and a feminine form of a title into a non-binary or non-gendered version of that title. And as someone who is very much learning French, not completely fluent, this is not something that you learn, right? When you're learning kind of beginner and intermediate French in a university or kind of through software and books and things like this. So I am really appreciative of this for me. It makes me very happy, this deck. Prophetess for the priestess, exactly what it sounds, a prophet. Souverain, the sovereign, for what would be perhaps the empress. Chef is a kind of leader for what would be the emperor. Of course, the divine, which brings to mind divination as well, for Major Arcana 5. Tolerant, tolerance, sense of balance for Major 6. Movement for the Chariot. And if you can see here, it says riots, not diets. This might be my new favorite Chariot card, friends. This is fucking amazing. Riots, not diets. Mouvement. Force, which is strength. I like this. It doesn't feel forceful. I really like that. Philosophe, philosopher for the Hermit. I really like this one too. Cycle for the Wheel. And you can see here a stomach, and also you can see fungi there. Get the sense of the digestive cycle, but also the cycle of decay and birth and rebirth and death. Really powerful, I think, this imagery. Équitable, or just, for the Justice card. Suspendu, suspended. Interesting to have a hanged one, you know, sitting right side up, but certainly you get the sense of that taking a pause, you know. We have Hecate, for death, which has a kind of figure who has associations with the other worlds and kind of like liminal spaces and boundary spaces. I think that makes sense. Guérisseuse. This is like healing. A person who healer. For what would be temperance. I really like this. Tentatrice. This is like someone who's tempting. And so you can see here in the back, promotion on sale, 50% off, promo. These kind of temptations, and then the person has these handcuffs there for the devil card. I think that is really clever. Effondrement. This is like a crashing down for the tower, and you can see if it's a fire in the kitchen there. Everything goes up in smoke, right? This I love, is little touch of color in the majors for étoile, the star, which means star. It's a direct translation. The celestial bodies all are. Lune for moon. Soleil for sun. And you see someone is dumpster diving in the sun card, which I think is really fun. I love that one. Jugement is judgment. And this one actually has some Spanish on it, which I speak a fair amount of French. I do not speak very much Spanish at all. But from anarchist context, I know these ni Dios ni amo. That's no gods, no masters. And it says, somos feministas, we're feminists. No gods, no masters. For judgment. I think that's awesome. This is a deck full of things that I love. Terre, earth, or the world. And now I'll look at the suits. So again, the suits are named for their element. So fire, water, air, and earth. So that is what those titles are. Ace of fire. Quite, straightforward. Two of fire. Three of fire, we get riots, not diets again. You can't have too much riots or too few diets. I think that's great. Four of fire. We see a kind of gender diverse symbolism in the Four of fire. Five of fire. Six of fire. This person has some spray paint there, having done some spray painting on the back. I love this one, Seven of fire. And so if you can see in the Seven of fire, self-care, self-love, and self-defense are crossed out in favor of community care and society consideration. Eight of fire. Nine of fire. And this one, for folks who don't know, the ZAD or ZAD, everywhere needed. This zone à défendre in French, has to do with like blockading an environmentally sensitive area so that it doesn't get destroyed by urban sprawl, kind of thing. So I don't think people use this like zone to defend. Like, this is not something that people say in English, I don't think, very much, but there is some well-known zone à défendre in France. So that's what that's about. 10 of fire, help. There. You think about the weight, the weightiness of the 10 of wands. I like that. Now, the court cards have retitled, and so in this one, the page is enfant, child. The knight is rebel. The queen would be adulte or adult, and the king is sage. So that's the titles of the courts: child, rebel, adult, and sage, with a kind of like elder context. So you get a kind of stages of life. Though I would not say rebel is a stage of life. That can be time. That can be ageless, right? Now this card, if someone can tell me if this is a cultural reference that I'm not familiar with, kickboxing baby on the child of fire. I tried to look this up online, and when you Google this, you get precisely what you think that you would get. I'm not sure if this is referring to a specific kickboxing baby. If you know, please put so in the comments, let me know. The rebel of fire says on ne tue jamais par amour. We never kill for love. This is a slogan that has to do with protesting gender-based violence. Adult of fire. Sage of fire. So that is the wands. Ace of water. Two of water. It's really pretty, I think. Three. Some of them are very slightly pippish, like not completely, but a little bit. Four of water. Five. Six of water. Seven of water. Eight of water. I really like that. I love this one too. 9 of water. It's really powerful. 10 of water. And 10 of cups. This is a good one, I think. The page of water, depicting a fetus inside a pregnant abdomen. Rebel of water. Adult of water. And sage of water. And remember, knives for swords, or for the air suit rather, and women warriors. 2 of air. 3. 4. 5. I think intense facial expression. I love this Six of Air. Six of Air is one of my favorite, is my favorite minor arcana card just in general, and I really like this boat in the background there. Seven of Air. Eight. Nine. 10. Child. Rebel. Adult. And Sage. And last up is the Earth suit, which is biodiversity. The Ace. It's a beautiful flower with a bee going to pollinate. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. I like this one. 7. 8. And the 8 of Earth there has the books on permaculture, ecofeminism, witches, transition, crops, and sustainable. So queer ecofeminist book stack, which I'm pretty into. 9 of Earth. 10. Enfant. Rebelle. Adulte. This beautiful elephant. Sage. Howling. Amazing, right? That is Tarot Souverain. I am really, really excited about this awesome feminist deck. So I was very happy to share it with you. My initial thoughts are that it's awesome, and I cannot wait to work with this deck, and I will tell you a little bit about my experience with that as it goes, of course. Thank you so much for watching. Again, check out the content below, including the interview with the creator of the deck. Thank you so much, and have a great day. I'll see you all again soon. Bye.